Did you know that 40% of divorces are caused by financial problems? I'll show you 3 cases where trading addictions ruined marriages. And we can reflect on it and say, would I stay in this relationship? Or would I leave it all together? Okay, so imagine waking up in the morning and you just bought a new condo with your wife. And not only that, but you just brought a child into the world. So you have a newborn, you have a new condo, things are going great. You and your wife have done the responsible thing and saved money together until this happens. I called my wife an idiot when she told me to sell Baba at $220 for a small loss. What do I do now? And looking at his plays, it does not look good. I mean, the only one that is green is his Disney position with $882, but overall, he's down over $100,000. And wow, would you look at that? His biggest loss is the same stock that his wife told him to sell early. You know what's worse than not listening to your wife? Not listening to her and her actually being right about the thing that you didn't listen about. She told him to sell Baba when its stock price was at $220. From his screenshot, you can see it's now $73. He lost $64,000 just off of Baba alone. And I love when Reddit rips him to shreds. Dude, your portfolio is so idiotic. Find another hobby. About to be your ex-wife if you don't apologize to her soon. And this guy said, well, after a $100,000 loss, she might already be gone. This guy said that's a weird way of saying you called your ex-wife an idiot. I just love it because everybody on Reddit is giving him a reality check and telling him, yeah, you're an idiot for calling your wife an idiot, and she's probably gonna be better off without you, especially with your hobby of losing money. And listen, this is me playing devil's advocate a little bit. I can see where he's coming from, where he's not listening to his wife because, hey, I only have a small loss right now. Why would I sell when this could potentially go up in the future? But you let it get this bad? Nah. If you let it get this bad, it's completely your fault. And the only thing in my mind that I can think, okay, why would he still hold on to these positions is out of spite. You told me to sell, I didn't sell, and I just gotta hold on for dear life, hoping that I'm right in the end, because I can't sit here, look you in the face and say, yeah, I probably should have listened to you. You can't risk money like this, especially when you're taking care of a family. And that is proven in our next story where this guy does something even worse. Wife doesn't know. We have a newborn and just bought a condo in the Bay Area. This is all of our savings. Then he attaches a screenshot where he's down $49,780 just this year, which is a loss of 65% of his portfolio. And you can look at his chart throughout the year, his chart has never gone up. He's consistently lost money for a year. This is one of my favorite comments. He said the #1 killer of relationships is financial insecurity due to mismanagement. This isn't me memeing, brother. If you love your wife and want this to work out, you have got to stop gambling. Come clean to her and start a stable portfolio that leans heavy into risk management. This isn't zero, it's not over. The elevator has fallen quite a ways, but it's not at the bottom yet. But make no mistake, it can and will go lower if you don't get off now while it's stopped. I mean, even though he's lost 65% of his portfolio over the last year, he still has $26,000 to work with, which is plenty of enough to start a stable investment account and grow over time. Yes, it's gonna take longer. It's not gonna be the high risk betting that you like. You have a wife to take care of, and not only a wife, but a newborn and a house and all these things that are now your responsibilities. So use this $26,000 and take a step in the right direction. This guy said 26K more to lose. What's stopping you? Congrats on the divorce. So even though this guy didn't call her an idiot like the last guy, he still has a lot to let his girl know. And it could be the end of his relationship, or it could be the start of something fresh and new. But it's gonna be a task. It's not gonna be easy, but they can make it work. But one person who probably won't be able to make it work is this guy right here. And it's something I've never seen on Reddit before. So our story starts with this trader, and he likes to live life on the edge. His first post said, "Fiance isn't into my gambling lifestyle and I need advice. It's the night before my wedding and I'm getting cold feet. I know that once I get married, I can't YOLO my life savings like I usually do. I'll have to invest in the ETFs and 401ks like all the other peasants that walk this earth. I've grown quite fond of this community and the casino, and as I took my winnings out of the market tonight, I couldn't help but feel like it was my last. It's truly unfair because the casino has literally paid for this wedding and her ring. How do you guys manage being married and being a degenerate gambler? Honestly, thinking about calling this whole wedding off. I just feel like she is so selfish and wanting stability in life. How crazy do you have to be to say your wife is selfish for wanting stability. And it's probably hard for her to tell him like, hey, this probably isn't a good idea to keep doing, because to him, hey, it's worked out. I've paid for this wedding. I've paid for your ring. So why should I stop? Not knowing that this type of trading is unsustainable. Now he wants to call off the wedding because she wants stability? Dude, call it off, bro. For her sake, she does not need to be in this. And if you look in the comment section, people are actually giving him good advice. This guy said, if you want to keep your finances separate, have that discussion now. That's a huge part of marriage, so settle it now. And then this guy said, there is no easy answer to your question as every situation is different. However, I can say that it is possible to be married and still gamble responsibly. It will require communication and compromise with your spouse, but it can be done. If you are truly committed to both gambling and your marriage, then you should and will find a way to make it work. And all these comments from different Redditors is what made him make his next post. He said, decided not to leave my fiance at the wedding altar thanks to you guys. I posted a few days ago the night before my wedding because I was a mess and having second thoughts because my fiance wasn't into me gambling in the market. Long story short, we sat down, talked about it like you guys suggested. We both agreed to stop calling it gambling and start calling it investing, especially in front of her friends. Wait a second, you mean to tell me that he's telling her friends that he's gambling in the market? And I bet you he's telling her friends, I'm gambling all the money I have. It's obviously become a problem if they're talking about this right now. I'm no longer allowed to YOLO my entire account, even though this entire wedding and ring was paid for by a Tesla YOLO. I have to turn the computer off and put down my phone after market closes instead of being on Reddit all night because that doesn't constitute as reading. It was obvious, even though he didn't call off the wedding, the issues in the relationship were growing. And it was all apparent once he commented this. I started a secret trust account after someone here suggested it. I loaded half my savings into that before the wedding that she doesn't know about. She's not too involved in our finances, so doubt she'll know to look there. So I'll be able to YOLO in peace. Oh my gosh. It was bad enough that you wanted to leave your wife at the altar, but now you guys had a talk. You guys figured it out. You came to a common ground that was going to launch your marriage into success. But right after that conversation, you go and start a secret account and move half your funds? I thought this was a joke at first, but no, he is dead serious. The next post showed how things escalated so quickly. Wife wants a divorce due to my gambling / Wall Street bets mentality. I got married a few weeks ago after almost getting cold feet the night before and running away. I committed to the marriage after posting a Wall Street bet topic and getting confirmation that marriage is bullish. Paid for the entire wedding using the money gambled in the market, which she did not contribute anything to. She refuses to acknowledge my in-depth analysis, Reddit research, and says I'm just gambling out my life savings every day. Meanwhile, she contributes nothing monetarily to the relationship and just spends every day having tea, brunch, and wine nights with her gals. We recently went on our honeymoon and she took my phone away so I couldn't check the markets. She ended up finding my burner phone while I was in the shower after market close. Long story short, I took a loan against the house for a call option last Friday, and because of Jay Powell's speech yesterday, they have been margin called. He talks about his contracts getting margin called, but what does that mean? It means that you borrowed money from your broker to trade, but then your trade lost value. And now your account doesn't have enough money to cover the loan. And that leaves you with two choices. Either A, add more money into your account to cover the loan, or B, you gotta sell some investments in order to pay them back. It's like the broker saying, you better pay up or we're gonna take what's ours. The house is at risk if the market doesn't bounce back, and she is a little upset. Says that if we lose the house, then she will file for divorce. Everything we own is because of my gambling. I mean, this makes zero sense to me. You took a loan against your house and you're surprised that your wife isn't okay with that? But not only that, but he keeps mentioning that, hey, I paid for everything due to my gambling. I paid for everything. All she does is spend money. But guess what? You just proved that you're not a genius and your last trade didn't go well. You're at risk of losing the house. So how are you looking at her saying, you're so wrong for judging me because I've paid for all this when you're literally about to lose your house. I mean, this is complete delusion on his part for even thinking that she's in the wrong at all. And it's crazy that he even got a burner phone and another account to do all this. In the end, it's not just the margin call that's at risk, it's his relationship. Just like in trading, if you don't manage your risk, you can end up losing way more than you can afford.